Yo, what is going on, guys? In today's video, we are going to be talking all about Wiccan, the son of Scarlet, Witch, and Vision. And this guy is pretty goddamn cool. Now, at first, I was really on the Hulkling train, but it's because I just didn't understand Wiccan as much. And now that I understand him more, I like him a lot more. I think I like Hulkling a bit more, but Wiccan's pretty cool. And there's a lot of interesting stuff that he can do. But what really caused me confusion was this part right here, cantrip. So, well-timed block inflicts a non-stack neutralized debuff of 100% when well-timed blocked. So that's when you get parried. I thought it was like when I parried at first. I'm like, why are my parries doing anything? And I didn't understand. And the other part I really didn't understand. When the opponent's abilities fail due to reduced ability accuracy or Wiccan's personal immunities, inflicts an incinerate debuff, reducing block proficiency by 50% and dealing 2,000 energy damage over 10 seconds. So this is how you stack up a lot of your incinerates. You need to stack up a lot of incinerates and shocks to then get plasmas to really do damage. But reading this, like reduced ability accuracy and personal immunities, I didn't think that translated to neutralize, preventing buffs, but it does. Like, I don't know, I think it's just worded a little bit weirdly, but yeah, now that I in practice understand it, I like him so much more. And then he has spells, which are basically you dash back, hold block. This gives you some resistance, and if you're awakened, if you have this shield up, you can also block unblockable attacks from cosmic champs, which is interesting. And then flame, just a regular 5-hit combo, medium, triple light, medium, inflicts an incinerate, and then medium 4 lights will inflict a neutralize passive, and then heavy gives you some extra power gain. And then this also part is what really confused me. Pause all active spells or debuffs when casting a spell that does not exist. I'm like, how do you cast a spell that does not exist? Like, it's just weird wording, you know? I don't know. Or a special attack. So when you use a special attack, it pauses, which is very easy to understand. Special 1, you can get regen. Just missing health, but if you take a lot of energy damage, you can heal all that up, which is a really cool piece of utility. I'm going to show you guys some interesting fights with that. And then special 2 is where you apply a crap load of shocks, and this paired with your neutralize to prevent buffs gets you incinerates. In buff heavy matchups, you can end up stacking up a lot of the plasmas, which is awesome. And then special 3, you just get a vulnerability debuff on the opponent, reducing their energy resistance, which all of Wiccan's attacks and damage output is energy based, so this just increases all of his damage. So yeah, pretty simple actually once I played him and understood it a lot more. And then as far as the synergies go, with Hood and Super Skrull, he can increase the potency of his incinerates, which is okay. If there's a lot of buffs, that could be pretty good. You can gain some all new Avengers can gain critical rating. That's a decent synergy. That's a good amount of critical rating. With Loki, his special 2 can inflict a slow debuff. That's pretty sick, man. That's actually pretty sick. That's a good piece of utility to have. And then this synergy here is Spiritual Parents. I love this. So Wiccan, when a buff fails to trigger due to reduced ability accuracy, Wiccan gains 2% of his max power, which is okay for him, but I really love the other synergies for his parents, especially with Sigil Witch. She can gain 50% of the instabilities removed when Regeneration expires. That is so strong. And then Visions, when intercepting, you can power burn, which is pretty sick. And then I'd say his best synergy though is with Hulkling, which makes sense because they're together. And basically, when neutralizing the opponent, also inflict a tracking debuff, so you can bypass miss. It's really, really neat. There's not a lot of Mystic champs that can do that. So yeah, let's get to some gameplay so I can really show you guys how cool Wiccan actually is. Okay guys, so we're jumping into some Act 6. I just wanted to go on a lane that had a lot of buffs and really see how Wiccan does. So like, I messed around with him in Realm of Legends and I really wasn't liking it at all. The damage wasn't feeling good, so I came in here and I'm like, okay, so this is right when I realized how that ability actually works, because we got the neutralize active, we're preventing buffs, so we're stacking a ton of incinerates, and boom, then we drop a special 2, we get a bunch of plasmas, and oh my god, he's dead already. Pretty nuts. Very nuts. I was very impressed that first fight in, and it only pretty much gets better. So what's happening is all I have to do is go medium 4 light attacks, and then we apply a neutralize. And that, excuse me, that neutralize prevents all buffs from triggering. And then I just keep doing that same combo to keep refreshing the neutralize, and you can see our incinerates just keep stacking. And then the special 2 applies a crap load of shocks. Those incinerates and shocks go together to form plasma, and those plasmas just deal an absurd amount of damage. And as you can see, special attacks, they pause the effects, so my neutralize is paused. And as long as that neutralize is active, we have the tracking as well with the Hulkling synergy, which, you know, is not really needed here, but it's cool. And it's against a buff heavy matchup, it's really not too hard to keep it up. Next up here we have a Yondu fight, and this is definitely the worst fight I had on the path, and I think I know why. I didn't want to parry at the start, so I started with a light combo, but because it started with a light and ended with a medium, it didn't count towards his spell, so we didn't apply the neutralize. That's a little bit of a nitpick I have with some characters like this, where they're so combo specific that if you just changed a little bit, you know, it doesn't work. So now Yondu has 10 of those energy resistance buffs, and because of that, our damage output here is going to drop drastically. You're going to see here we melted those first 2 champs, but here we get all those plasmas, and it's just not doing nearly as much damage just because of all of those energy resistance buffs that Yondu has, which is just kind of annoying. Also, we don't have class advantage here. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. Some champions that have such hyper-specific combos, like Cosmic Ghost Rider, he's not as bad. You can kind of mix his up a bit. It only matters the hit that you end on, but it still has to be 5 hits. But Wiccan, he's so specific, so that in a matchup where they're like evade or something, you know, you're never going to want to use him. If, you know, you can't get those right combos off. So yeah, but I mean, he's a Mystic Champ. Mystic Champs typically don't counter evade anyways, but I mean, he does have the slow synergy with Loki, so I guess maybe. But yeah, I mean, it's typically not in the Mystic Champs wheelhouse to counter evade, because evade is, not always, but it definitely started with the science class. But yeah, this fight here, she only has 4 of those energy resistance buffs, and you can see the difference in damage. She just gets absolutely melted. That was a quick fight, much faster than that Yondu was. And so I'm just having fun on this lane, man. Like I don't know if I've ever cleared this lane with this amount of speed before. Like, I'm unboosted right now. I do have suicides on, which probably don't want to have suicides on with Wiccan, but like I said, this was like very early testing phase with him, and these are just the masteries I had from when I was testing Hulkling. So after this quest, we are going to take suicides off, show you guys the damage without that. But yeah, he was just absolutely shredding this lane, man. It's pretty ridiculous. Look at all that. And the neutralize is going to prevent her indestructible from triggering, so she just dies. You see it said buff failed there. Pretty nice. Next up we got a Heimdall. Just going to pop a little potion in here because the suicides have been draining our health a little bit. Wiccan is definitely a glass cannon type character. It's definitely what he's meant to be, which is totally fine. You just got to be careful with him. If you get hit, you might die. But yeah, same thing here. Right there, I throw my heavy attack to go ahead and get a little bit of increased power gain. Then we're going to throw the special 2. I also didn't have any Mystic Dispersion on here. This is just Wiccan doing his thing. And yeah, there's Heimdall melted. Finished with a special 1. Could have got a little bit of regen, but probably would have taken recoil after anyways. But yeah, we only have, I think, 2 more fights. No, 3 more fights on this path. 2 more linked fights. So we got Hyperion and the Champion with the nodes, and then we have the Annihilus mini boss that gives out the link nodes on this quest, but he doesn't have any nodes. So I thought it'd be interesting just to see how Wiccan handles just a regular Cosmic Champ that's, you know, not going crazy on the buffs like all these path fights are, which this is fun to watch, but you know, it's a bit unrealistic for the majority of time you're going to be using Wiccan. You know, bringing him to buff heavy matchups is one thing, but this is just like every hit applies a buff. It's a little unrealistic for like actual Wiccan usage, you know what I'm saying? But it's definitely fun to see, and it was really cool it really helped me understand him a lot more as well. We do have the Sigil Witch synergy, so we are getting a little bit of increased power gain from that, I think. But yeah, it's not doing crazy amount. I wouldn't say like that synergy stuff like needed it all for Wiccan. I don't think he needs any of his synergies. It's just they all do add a little bit more to him, which I think is what synergies should be. It's kind of annoying when a champion is synergy reliant. But yeah, here throw this special 2 once again, and he is just melting. You see, we still got that tracking. Not that we can miss, but if we could, we wouldn't be. And then go for another special 2, and it's just so much overkill. His animations are really cool too. He feels really great to play, honestly. And then here we have this Annihilus. So I had no idea how this fight was going to go, because I don't think Wiccan has like real nullify. Like once the buffs are already there, I don't think he really has a way to deal with them, but he can prevent them with neutralize. But with Annihilus here, he starts the fight with his rod. So I was like, oh, like how am I gonna get rid of that? And I'm pretty sure Annihilus is incinerate immune when he has that rod active. So I'm like, like what should I do? Well, a very interesting interaction happens here. So here you see we apply the neutralize, and now it prevents his unstoppable buffs. So when he applies the obliteration on me, he doesn't get his unstoppable, which is really nice. So it's definitely not as good as the other fights, but yeah, he's not shock immune, so at least we can get some shocks going. And which, if they are shock immune, he can actually apply degen instead. I think that is with the awaken ability, but pretty cool thing that he can do. But yeah, a very interesting interaction here against Annihilus, and you can see he still manages to handle him fairly okay, without all the crazy buff nodes. So yeah, there's Annihilus taken down. Now I wanted to show you guys that regeneration capability on the special one. So we're gonna take a magic here. She has an energized node, so her power gain is gonna be pretty ridiculous. So Wiccan has no way to like prevent limbo or anything. He doesn't reduce the damage. We just take it. We do have some energy resistance if we dash back and hold block, which I've been doing a little bit, get the resistance up or whatever. But as you can see, we're still taking a lot of limbo damage. However, when we throw our special 1, you can see we pretty much regen all of it back. So if you're ever fighting an energy damaging opponent, and you're taking damage from that opponent, whether you could get hit or you're taking BS, unavoidable damage, Wiccan is going to be able to heal from it. So I think that's a really cool ability, really cool and niche piece of utility. And energy damage is probably a lot more prevalent than you think. For example, incinerate, shock, plasma, I'm pretty sure, cold snap, all of that is classed as energy damage. So I think, for example, if you were fighting like an Iceman and you took a bunch of cold snap damage at the start, if you threw your special 1 with Wiccan, you'd maybe heal back all of it. I'm not sure. I just thought of that Iceman matchup now, so I don't have any gameplay of that, but in theory that should be the way it works. So as you can see, we finished this magic fight with over 90% health. It's a pretty damn cool ability, man. I really like that. It's one of the coolest things about Wiccan. And I kind of wanted to show you guys it against Electro too. So this is in a variant, the Moon Knight variant, Waning Moon. And it's got stun immunity, power efficiency, crackling energy, which deals passive energy damage over time on the attacker, which we are the attacker, so passive energy damage, that's okay. That falls under his wheelhouse of healing. So that block damage, however, though, does not. We're not going to be able to heal up that big block damage we just took. Yeah, so this fight is like Wiccan. Don't bring Wiccan to this fight. I'm not saying he's good for this fight at all. I'm just trying to show you that he can heal from Electro's damage. So here you can see we throw that special 1, and boom, we just got a fat regen buff, healing back all that damage that we took from attacking Electro, that those degen passives were dealing to us. We're just healing it all back up, which is pretty nifty, man. It's a really cool ability. I'm really glad Wiccan has that in his kit. It opens the door to all kinds of things, Because So yeah, but he's horrible, absolutely horrible at this fight. Cause I'm unable to focus on like going for special 2s and getting incinerates, and I'm just so focused on healing that I'm not really able to deal damage to take him down. Plus, with the power efficiency node, he is just throwing mad specials. But the regen, I'm just showing this because the regen is cool. That's really the only reason. We're not going to do this fight anymore. I just wanted to show you guys that regen. Now I got one more fight for you guys. It is the 6.2 champion boss. Nerfed 6.2 champion boss. Double nerfed again. I think so. This is the first time I've fought him since the whole big Act 6 change, nerf, whatever. And this is my very first fight with Wiccan against this guy. You know, sometimes it takes me more than one try. It's been a while since I fought this dude, so man, I wasn't sure. I'm definitely feeling a bit rusty. And I'm just kind of curious, like, what's different. I never bothered reading what they actually changed because this is, you know, irrelevant content to me now. I mean, it is going to be relevant on Legs Junior, but, and I guess when I do these types of videos, I don't know. I just like, 6.2 champion, they nerfed it. Like, if I can already easily do it before the nerf, you know, like I should be able to easily do it after the nerf, right? That's my mindset, right? So I'm like, I'm not too worried. So yeah, just throwing a lot of specials. But the neutralize isn't preventing his buffs here. So I don't know if that's because of the champion's increased ability accuracy or what. I have no idea. I started regretting not bringing the Loki synergy along, because then I could have just slowed him. That would have made things a lot easier. But like I said, this is my first attempt, first time doing this fight. I'm feeling it out. I'm figuring it out with Wiccan as well. So here, he does go unblockable, but like I said, as long as I have those resistance ups. Oh, I just realized this champion isn't a cosmic champ. That makes sense. I was wondering why. I was like, did I not have resistance up when he broke my block? But yeah, I guess he's not classed as a cosmic champion here. He's the Omni class or superior class or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I guess I was banking on that for. That was dumb of me. Yeah, here he breaks my block again. I did have Heimdall on the team though, so that saved me. If you're a YouTuber or you know you're trying to make gameplay videos, it's a very good idea to just bring Heimdall along with you. You'll see a lot of other people do that if they have Heimdall on the team. It's just because if you mess up, you can just restart your game and Heimdall will save you. It's very simple. That's why people do it. So I was, you know, like, but now that, because like, it's annoying to go through the entire quest to get to the final boss and then die, but you did damage, but you want to show like the full solo, so you have to go through the entire quest again, pull up to the boss. That's why I bring Heimdall. Makes that easy. But if you trigger Heimdall early, which I did here, now if I mess up and die, I'm gonna have to do the quest over again. So I'm just thinking like, okay, well, I better not mess up anymore. So here I pushed the champion into his final state, but like I said, it's been a while, and I missed the first dex on the special one. I'm like, what's going? Like normally I never miss my dex, which is I baited out and then I dex a second hit, and again I missed it. I like never miss it when it's the perfect spacing. Like, it's weird. And here he just kind of threw it when I wasn't ready. He's just unstoppable this whole time. I do have Mystic Dispersion on now, which is giving me all these crazy specials. But like, I'm just keep messing up. I can't get the dex. There we go. Finally got the good spacing. Got the dex. I'm like, okay, just gotta do that 2 more times. And here he kind of threw it when spacing, you know, wasn't what I wanted it to be. He's unstoppable again, so I have to keep throwing these special 3s. This is really annoying, man. He has so many buffs. Throw another special 3. Thank God for the special 3 button, or this would have been very rough. But okay, just 2 more dexes. Boom, there we go. Got another one. Okay, I just need 1 more. Here we go. Boom, there we go. Got it. And I throw this special 3. I'm not going to skip this one. I'm like, alright, this is GG. See a champion. And then I'm looking at my damage. I'm like, hold on. Why isn't this killing? What? What's going on? And I realize I don't have the prowess. So when they changed this fight, did they take away the prowess? Like, what? That's like one of the best parts about this fight. But whatever. Just throw my special 2 and he's dead. So there's a 6.2 champion boss, the new one. soloed with Wiccan, my very first attempt. A little sloppy, but we got her done. So yeah, guys, that's going to be my CCP early access video on Wiccan. Really cool champion. Really hope to get him. There's a lot of cool and neat stuff he can do. You definitely want to use him in more buff heavy matchups. Outside of them, I don't like him as much. But hey, every champion, not every champion, most champions have their niche, and as long as they stick to it, that's perfect. And that's, I think, what Wiccan's for, and that's kind of how he was designed, which is totally okay and good. Out of the two, I think I personally like Hulkling a little bit more, so I'm glad that he's going to be in the next featured. And we're going to have to wait a while for Wiccan. He'll be in the next featured, but I'm sure that next featured is going to be pretty insane too, especially with the Thor movie coming out. I think Quicksilver will also be in that next one, so, oh baby. The next 6-star feature pool is looking very spicy. That's going to do it for this video, guys. If you did enjoy, I would really appreciate you dropping a thumbs up. It really helps me, the channel, these videos out. It's so much more than you know. And if you guys want to subscribe, at 100K, we are going to be eating this, the world's hottest gummy bear. Also going to be making a kitty pride guide. Also might do some other crazy stuff, like shave my head bald. Who knows, man? I don't know. We'll see. That's going to do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoy. Peace out.